Hello everybody, Vinyl Rich here with a Vinyl Finds video. I find the vinyl community to be a beacon of brightness in the underbelly of the YouTube and the internet. And a good example of that is I recently just watched another vinyl tag, and it was by the Vinyl Voyage. What a great channel this guy is. It was his very first video. He's probably done 5 or 6 since. And for his first video, it's very well. I mean, he's very comfortable in front of the camera. I love his taste in music. I had to laugh at his answer to the question, who would you invite over for a dinner party? And Leonard Cohen was one of his choices. And he said, he seems like a really nice guy. And I think he would help clean up afterwards, And man, I wish I would have thought of that angle. Considering I invited Exene and PJ Harvey over, But anyways, I'm going to leave a link to the Vinyl Voyage. Fantastic new channel. When I watched his last video that I watched, he had 122 subs. Now, I want you people, at least some of you, subscribe to this guy and let's get him to at least 200. And I'm not going to make another video until he does get to 200. Now, some people might be happy about that. Who knows? But we'll see, We'll see how long I might take a break. But I have faith in you. Now, with every bright spot, there is a shadow that is cast. And I say with a deep heart, really, a sadness. There was a guy made VC videos. He hasn't made one in a few years. He was called Backwoods Metal. And I don't know, whenever someone disappears, you always kind of wonder, I wonder why. Well, it appears he passed away. I don't know the circumstances, but he was, I think, 41 years old. He was not a real old guy. But man, he had such enthusiasm. Whenever he got VCLT, he was so excited. He gave out a lot of VCLT. And it's a shame, My heart goes out to his family. And, yeah, I just wanted to mention, I don't know, some of you might know him. He was around. I remember, I think I did an entry to a contest of his. Maybe 6 years or almost 7 years ago, But a new tradition this year, whenever I do a Vinyl Finds, I'm going to do a lyric reading. And today's lyric reading is Call of the Wig Hat by the Cramps. Now, this is a long song. I hope I can get through this, Well, how do you keep a moron in a wig hat suspense? I'll tell you that later. But first, I'll tell you this. Ah-hoo, ah-hoo. Well, now Willie tore his hair out, and Sally grew a beard. Vince went ape shit and cut off his ears. Ruby went to town, completely upside down. Sally spilled some powder and had a tantrum in her gown. She went, hoo, hoo. Well, Mama had twin babies one sweet summer day. She beat one in the head, and I'm the one that got away. Protected by my wig hat and my Frederick snakeskin pants, I rode my horse to Hollywood and did a wondrous dance. I went, hoo, 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 hoo. Well, great jumping catfish do the limbo on my face, but no one seems to notice when my wig hat is in place. My wig hat lifts me higher than I've ever been before. You can go and buy yours at all better wig hat stores. Just ask for who? Who? Yeah, they wear them in Exotica when they get the blues. They voted them the best when worn with matching shoes. It's the call of the wig hat that brought you to this place. It's just a big, fat, hairy fashion race. Yeah, who? Who? All right. Yeah. That's pretty good, man. Okay. Metal, what's that guy's name? Middle Life Crisis Rants. He was showing some 7-inches, and this is one he showed. Never heard of this band. LA band. This single's produced by Giza X, who I'm very familiar with. And yeah, it's pretty cool, man. It's a 3-song single. It's got some goodies in here. It's clear vinyl, wow. You got towels and PCP and then TV Tantrum. They kind of sound like a Danger House. You know, they would have fit right in the Danger House records or label. Very cool. 3 kind of typical Los Angeles 70s punk. I think this came out in 1978 or was recorded in 78. And they played with here they're playing with the Twitch and the Screamers. 2 flyers there. And then on the back you can see here, you got the Whiskey. And they're playing with the Germs, Snot Puppies, the Reptiles, and Middle Class. But yeah, very cool. Came with this little postcard. The Snot Puppies. Not the greatest cover. I mean, if you look at this picture here, this guy didn't seem to, I guess he liked to show his chi-chis off. He didn't seem to like to wear shirts. Well, I ordered that on Discogs quite cheaply after, watching Middle Life Crisis Rants video. And I thought, man, I think it was $10 or whatever. Let me see what else he has. And he had this single on Kudan Records, I guess. It's Ronnie Cook and the Gay Lads. The Goo Goo Muck. The original version of the Goo Goo Muck. Now, this is a reissue. And on the back is the Scotch. And it's like a rockabilly dance, one of these. We got a new dance, called the Scotch. But yeah, this is very cool. This has been on my radar. The Goo Goo Muck was this Ronnie Cook and the Gay Lads. They were from Bakersfield. The guy that well, I don't know if they're from, I think they are, but the guy that wrote the song is from Bakersfield. And it's Ed James. Anyways, 2 good singles I got. Now the first album, it's, I guess what people would classify as neo-psychedelic. And it's Melody's Echo Chamber. It's her second album. Now, I had her first album on CD. I remember Dead Wax 66 showing it few years back. But yeah, I bought it when it came out. I heard it on the internet. I go, man, that's cool. It was back when I was listening to them and the Temples, and I was kind of listening to those bands. It's got English and French lyrics. It's got dreamy vocals and sounds mixed in with some experimentation. It's got some acoustic guitar moments, which I don't remember being on the first album. But yeah, it's really really psychedelic soundscapes. The last song even has a funky groove to it. But yeah, I highly recommend this, man. I don't know if it's as good as the first. And I was looking online, and you can get the first one for relatively cheap, you know, like in between $20 and $30. So I think I'm gonna probably end up getting the first one, because I really don't play my CDs anymore. I have 3 CD players, and they're all broke. And this one is on clear vinyl. And very cool labels. Kind of hippie looking. Now, her first album, she did with one of the guys, I think the guitar player from Tame Impala. They were a couple. They were recording a second album, and they broke up, and so she just shelved that. And then she released this. That's her third album, but this got delayed a year. She had a brain aneurysm and broke a vertebrae. I don't know, some kind of accident happened. I tried. She was spent months in the hospital, but apparently she's okay. She's released another album. And this is the lyric sheet. Well, actually, this is an inner sleeve, but this one did come with this MoFi like sleeve. This is what is it called? Fat Possum, but it's a Vinyl Me Please version. Yeah, right there it says Vinyl Me Please version. But this is all the lyrics. Very cool. But it also came with this thing that you stick on your turntable, and it says to look at it through your phone camera. Yeah, it's pretty trippy. I might put a clip of that at the beginning of the video. We'll see. Now the next, I bought that used. And yeah, I was kind of, after that first album, I didn't really check her out at all. And I was, oh wow, I remember that band. Now this next one is probably the one, well, it was definitely I've been on the lookout for it ever since I've heard it. And it's Club Ska 67. This is a fantastic 60s ska album. It's got Guns of Navarro, Phoenix City, Shantytown. It's just got some of the greatest ska tunes from the 60s, from Jamaica. This is on Mango Records or Mongo Records. Mango. It's a U.S. press. Now look at that sleeve, man. I was watching a video, Embryonic Robot, I think. And he had a record, like, you know how like one of these white sleeves, it was a new record. And he goes, oh, I'm going to have to change that sleeve. Man, I wonder what guys like that think about when I show records with these kind of sleeves. But yeah, it's fantastic. That was probably my find of the month. Now another one, another used record I came across is the Beacon Street Union, The Clown Died in Marvin Gardens. This is the Beacon Street Union's second album. I'd always heard it's not as good, and so I always avoided it. But I think it was either Cosmic Brian or Dave the Pickup Artist showed it about a month ago. And the way they were talking about it, I go, you know what? Next time I see that, I'm going to pick it up. Because I have run across this a few times. And I don't know if I like it as much as the first, but it's not a bad album. In fact, side one, I like a lot. Now, side two, to be honest, I've only played once. But side one, man, it starts off with The Clown Died in Marvin Gardens. It sounds like it's a really good 60s psychedelic song, you know. It's one of the best songs on the album. Then the next song is The Clown's Overture, and as high as it got, it comes down kind of quickly for me. It's like a orchestration thing, only 2 minutes long. But yeah, it's I don't know. They could have taken that off. And then the next one is Angus of Aberdeen. Now that one starts out with strings, and I'm going, oh no. And then it starts with a harpsichord or something, and man, this album is gonna kind of suck, you know. But then it kicks into gear, and it's a really good song. It's a 4 minutes and 37-second song, the longest song on side one. And yeah, it's a 60s psych jam. But then it goes into Blue Suede Shoes. Now, that's probably the worst song of the album. I mean, it's not a bad song, and they do a decent cover of it, but it just does not fit. And then you got a Not Very August Afternoon. Pretty good song, and then it closes with Now I Taste the Tears. A really good, strong. Overall, it's a pretty good. Besides Blue Suede Shoes, it's a good side. I mean, The Clown's Overture, it's kind of orchestrated, but it's only 2 minutes, so it's not bad. Now, side two, I didn't like as much. It starts off with King of the Jungle. And like I said, I've only listened to this once. If I remember right, it's kind of like one of those music hall, one of those wanker songs that a lot of these 60s garage and psych bands always had to put on, And then the next one, May I Light Your Cigarette, is a very long, it's a 4.5 minute song. And it's kind of slow and kind of drawn out. But it may be the best song on the side. Now, the last song is Baby Please Don't Go, the cover of Baby Please Don't Go. And it's 16 minutes and 24 seconds. And it kind of just drags on and on and on. It's kind of like the last 7 minutes of that Rolling Stones song, Going Home, where it just kind of, that song is like it's going to end, but it just keeps going, and it just repeating itself. And a lot of this, I mean, for 16, they could have cut this down to 4 minutes, and it probably would have been okay. But yeah, I mean, I'll listen to it some more, and I'm glad I got it just for side one, if nothing else. And this is the original sleeve, but it did come in a MoFi. MoFi type, and it's on MGM. Very cool, man. Glad I got that. Now the next two are reissues. 2 albums that I'm very familiar with. I've streamed them several times. In the backyard, I'll stream stuff, either on YouTube or Bandcamp. And this is one that I streamed on YouTube a lot. And it's the Haymarket Square is the name of the band, and Magic Lantern is the name of the album. Now, it says here, the original Barron and Bailey Light Circus. Now, I guess there were 2 teachers from the University of Illinois in Chicago. They had this light show, and they would perform, during this show. Let me just read what it says on this wannabe Obi. Released in 1968 as the soundtrack to the Baron and Bailey Light Circus light show. This is one of the rarest vinyl artifacts from the original U.S. psychedelic era. Crude, dark, psychedelic rock featuring trippy, fuzzed out, wah guitars, male-female vocals, and long tracks. Now, the tracks are very long on this. I think the shortest song is like 4 minutes. But most of them are like 7, 8. There's a 10-minute, almost 11-minute song, a 9-minute song. And 3 songs on each side. The female vocalist on this is great. And I probably should have looked up her. Oh, here it is. Gloria Lambert. And she ended up marrying the guitar player, Mark Swenson. And I think he's the male vocalist. He's got a good voice, but man, not as good as her. This album has acid-drenched guitar. The drums are very prevalent, though. He kind of overdoes it with all the flourishes, you know. It's kind of, the drumming is kind of imperfect, but it's organic, so I don't mind it at all. The wannabe Obi is moving on me, but yeah, it's a very good late U.S. 60s psych album, and I got this on the Gerson label. I don't know if I have any other albums on that label. It's one of the best labels out of Spain. So I've never, looked into them because the shipping is almost as much as the album. But I got this from a US seller, and it was like 20 something dollars. Less than 25, I think. So I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to go on Discogs and, see if I can find more from this label, because they release some great psychedelic stuff. And here's that's a picture of the label. And it came with a little poster. Suitable for framing. The Baron and Bailey Light Circus, with music by Haymarket Square. And it has this insert with some liner notes written by the drummer. I got one more reissue that I got. And I think somebody showed this recently. It's one I was familiar with. I wasn't quite as familiar with this as the Haymarket one. But this is Cycle. A one and done band, just like the Haymarket one. This is a garage band. And they're all original tunes. They don't do any covers. The guy that wrote the songs, he's not a Lennon and McCartney as far as lyrics go. Let's put it that way. But you don't really notice that much, except for like the couple of slow songs, Maiden Girl and In Love, My Friend. But yeah, on the other ones, the rocker ones, you don't really even pay attention to or It's Her, I think, is the other one. The rocker ones, you don't really pay attention too much to the lyrics. Really fuzzed out, some really fuzzed out guitars in this. It's got some really good organ bits. The second to last song on side 2, Do My Thing, it's got this one organ bit. It sounds like Vanilla Fudge, kind of. And then the whole band starts getting into this jam. It sounds like a typical garage band. The first song, it starts out really good. If You Can, it sounds like the band Racket Squad, their second album, if you're familiar with that band. And it's on a label that I have quite a few on this label. It's another really good reissue label, Outsider Records. Very cool label. Yeah, I have a few albums on that label. And this too also came with a insert with a bio. But yeah, this band, I don't know if I mentioned the Haymarket Square one. They're from Chicago. This band is from back east, but it's like on the southern. It's like maybe Carolinas or something like that. I got two more. And I got this Dead Kennedys live at the Old Waldorf, San Francisco, October 25th, 1979, KALX FM broadcast. Now, I have a couple of Dead Kennedys live albums, and they both sound excellent. This one is not as good as the two that I already have, so I kind of question why did I get this? Now, this past week I've been listening to, I'm going through my whole collection, and I was listening to my Gun Club, and I have 5 live Gun Club albums, and 2 of them sound excellent. In fact, I had 6. I already got rid of 1. I played it once. I go, that's horrible. It's Live at the Hacienda, 1984. Now, Live at the Hacienda by the Gun Club, 1983 is fantastic. But yeah, I got this one here. It's the birth, the death, the ghost. I'm probably gonna get rid of that. I don't know. I just, the quality's not that good. There was another one that was a Record Store Day one. I'm probably gonna get rid of that. I'll probably keep the Live at the Starwood. And all 3 of those are like from the 1981 period. So I only need 1. And I think the Live at the Starwood sounds the best. But anyways, I guess the reason I bring that up is I'm getting rid of that kind of stuff. And here I am buying one that's kind of in that same vein. Though this does sound better than those. So I'll probably keep it. I mean, I'll listen to it a few more times before I get rid of it, if I do. And it's on plain labels. It's a FM broadcast. Mind Control Records. And the last one is a Finnish band. This is the last record I bought. I just got it this week. I played it only a couple of times. I traded in 5 records, and I picked up this. It's a Finnish band, 013, and I have a few of these reissues. This record is Propaganda and Going Underground exclusive pink vinyl version. I have a few of the Going Underground exclusives, and they're really good sounding. Now this one, some of the other Finnish ones I have are really kind of in your face, that bashful sound, that bash you in the face sound that a lot of people don't like. This is, I think, would be a good starting point for people that want to listen to some Finnish punk. A lot of it sounds like 70s punk. Some of it sounds like the 80s, kind of the West Coast California sound, not with real brutal vocals or harsh vocals. But yeah, this is I think a really good starting point for someone that wants to, listen to some Finnish hardcore. And what is this supposed to be? Pink vinyl. Yeah, I guess it's pink, but it's pretty on the reddish hue. And that's it, man. That's my vinyl finds. I bought more than I usually do in a month. But anyways, take care, everybody. And sorry to hear about Backwoods Metal. And he was a really cool guy.